This box is your phone. This ball is an application on your phone. So is this one, and this, and this. In fact, the average phone has over 80 apps on it, so all of these are going in. Now, it looks like a mess, but it's actually easy to find what you're looking for. You open your phone, go in, and go straight to the app you want to use. This isn't the problem. The problem is, you open your phone to look at this. But then while you're here, you see this, and you spend some time with this one. Then while you're checking this one out, you might as well check this one. I mean, you're there anyway. But then, you also see this, ooh, and this one too, oh man, and don't forget about that one. And suddenly, you've been here for 1, 2, 3 hours, perhaps more. Maybe not all at once, but cumulatively over the course of the day. This is where digital minimalism comes in. It enables you to take a close look at everything going on in here, removing what's barely used or not essential, so that you end up with a clean, tidy, and concise device where you know everything that's in here and it's either essential or you genuinely use it often. And hopefully, it stops you even entering the rabbit hole at all. What we still refer to as a phone is actually now just a feature of this device. In many ways, and for many people, it's an extension of our bodies. I mean, some of us have a small indent on our little finger due to such regular usage. Anyway, I want to show you how my phone's set up, the apps I use, how I use them, and how I make my phone work for me, and not the other way around. But first, a quick thought on minimalism. I believe it isn't about not having things, but being intentional with what you do have. Owning and using things that are relevant, beneficial, and useful to you. For example, if you break down all my filming equipment, batteries, lights, tripods, lenses, it probably comes to around 30 or so items. Now, does this disqualify me from being a minimalist as I own more than just a camera? Well, no, I'm joking, of course not. They're all practical tools and each has a purpose to help me express my creativity. Everyone's version and idea of minimalism will look slightly different. So, you do you. Wait, what's happening? I'm currently using an iPhone 14 Pro, but this video can apply to any phone really. I love the neutral matte colour, although the sides are an absolute fingerprint magnet. I don't have a case on, which means everyone around me thinks I'm crazy, but I don't know. It feels so right that it must be wrong. I upgraded last year from the iPhone 12 mini. I adored that size, but I really miss the telephoto lens. I chose the Pro for the advanced camera features, as 99% of all my photos out and about are with my phone. And being able to shoot ProRes means I've actually been able to integrate a few shots here and there into my YouTube videos. Not a lot, as it's still noticeable, but for the odd quick one with good light, it can totally sneak in between the Sony clips. I didn't go with the Max as I dislike large phones. This is the largest I'll go. On my lock screen I have the time and date using this cool, retro-y, vintagey font. Usually, I like an ultra minimal and clean aesthetic, like my Mac. That's empty and I love it. But as my phone is the most practical device that I own, and probably the most portable other than my watch, I really value productivity over aesthetic, and thus, I have 3 widgets on the lock screen. On the left is the outdoor temperature. On the right is the chance of rain. I live in Manchester in the UK, it's nicknamed the Rainy City, so I always check these 2 before I head out of the house, so I know what to wear or what to bring. In the middle is my daily fitness progress using Apple's rings. Since the 1st of January, I haven't missed a single day of closing all 3, so having this reminder here is keeping me very active. Then I have a wallpaper which is an Enzo circle and a dot, making a 0-point logo on a paper background. This is the artwork for my EP that I released last year. Available on all music streaming platforms if you like singer-songwriter pop. Now, onto the home screen. So, the first thing you might be thinking is, where's the iPhone and what have you done with it? Basically, I'm not a fan of all different coloured apps with different art styles and design. It lacks an aesthetic cohesion in my eyes, and I prefer a more minimalistic design. I have a clock widget up top. This actually takes up the space of 8 apps, and I like to see the entire month at a glance without needing to open up the calendar. Below this are my most used apps, and the wallpaper is plain black with the name of my favourite animation studio neatly fitting into the gap. Let me know in the comments if you know what it is. I purposely designed my lock screen and home screen to be black and white. It makes what's on screen less desirable and more functional. In the past, I've actually had an empty home screen, but for me, I found it's just not that practical. For example, say I've got an empty home screen and I wanted to open an app, say YouTube. Logistically, I'd have to unlock, search, type, and tap. Or maybe unlock, swipe, tap, scroll, and tap. Either way, I would only be adding in extra steps for the sake of visuals, and when you're doing this multiple times a day, it very quickly becomes inconvenient. Instead, I prefer to have just one homepage full of all the apps I use the most, so I can open my phone, go in quick, taking the fastest route to get to what I need, and then get out.
You just want to get in and get out.
So now, let's take a look at the apps I have on my phone. As I said before, the clock widget sits at the top. I can't remove the name as it's actually a widget, not an app. Otherwise, it would be long gone already. As for the apps themselves, I don't have them labeled, just logoed. Logoed. If that isn't a word, it is now. Anyway, it looks much cleaner this way as I know what everything is visually. And unless you move your apps around a lot, your muscle memory will take you to what you want. In the top left is Instagram. I don't use socials that much for browsing and I deleted Facebook last year, but I do use it for posting my own content and connecting with people. After that is LinkedIn. I've recently dived back into LinkedIn and it's been great to reconnect with people I haven't spoken to in ages. Maps is Maps. Super useful, I use it all the time. Google Maps is my preference. This is my banking app, I bank with Monzo here in the UK, love them. The next line is audio-based apps. The first two are podcasts and Audible. Whether I'm doing a workout, out on a walk, or doing housework, I'll be listening to a podcast or an audiobook. Then there's Spotify. It's been my music streaming choice since it began. Currently I've been listening to, what's that doing there? That's my EP 0 Point. Oh, pretty sure that I mentioned that one already. But seriously, I love to work to the Study Lo-Fi playlist with the Lo-Fi Girl. I'm also really enjoying this playlist called Not Quite Classical. It's really beautiful. The last one on this line is audio memos. Here, I'm constantly recording down ideas for videos, general thoughts, or songs. I think I've probably got over 500 song ideas by now. So I know many people love Notion, and on one side, I really want to get into it, but on the other side, Apple's reminders and notes apps, they really do all I want them to. I write all my scripts and ideas into notes, and I run a pretty tight organization ship. Camera, photos, calendar, these need no explanation. Very useful. Then there's Apple Messages for communication, along with WhatsApp, as I have a lot of international friends and family who don't have iPhones. Bottom right is YouTube, and this is probably where I consume the most visual content. I also pay for YouTube Premium as I really dislike ads. And there's a couple of other cool features I like. For example, if I'm going on holiday and I want to watch some YouTube videos on the plane, it allows me to download the video and watch it later. Also, say I'm watching a video discussion or a video podcast, I can lock my phone and go audio only, say if I go for a walk or something, and turn a video podcast into a normal podcast. In the dock I have Mail, Phone, Safari for web browsing, and Balance. Balance is my meditation app, and as of recording this video, they're offering an entire year for free. That's worth repeating, an entire year for free. Even if you use a different meditation app, it's worth downloading, you might as well try it out. Now, I understand a lot of minimalists really disagree with having email and web browsing on your mobile device. But like I said earlier, each to their own. For me, I work with emails that can be time sensitive, so I need the option to check on the go. I organize everything into folders or act upon it that day and then implement Inbox Zero because minimalism. As for web browsing, I regularly have a spark of inspiration or a thought I need to quickly look into. My browser tabs on mobile kind of act like a creative to-research list. My app library is basically apps I don't use that much, but enough to not delete and re-download regularly. Like Shazam for when I want to identify a cool song and listen to it at a later time. Or Komoot, which I use to help me plan and navigate hiking routes. You get the idea? We don't need to go through the rest. Other than calls and messages, I don't have notifications on. I manually go into apps to check them. For me, it's like having chocolate in the house. If it's here, it's gonna get eaten. It's the same with those red notification bubbles, you know. Sometimes, and this might sound weird, I'll actually go into the app, not necessarily to even see what the notification is, but rather just to acknowledge it so that it disappears so that my phone looks clean and tidy. By having notifications turned off, I eliminate this and check when I want to check. Alright, that's how my phone's set up. It's been this way for a while and it's quite simple, but for me, it just works. At the end of the day, I think you need to figure out what's important to you and then mold your phone around that. How can it support the things that you already do? Or help achieve the things you want? Or get you to a place you want to be? If you're just starting down the road of digital minimalism or just want a cleanup, answering these questions should help you define what your phone should be, how it can best serve you, and by simplifying, use it with much more intention. Thank you so much for watching. Please do pop in the comments any app recommendations or tips and tricks that could help me or other people. And other than that, have a great day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you next time. Ciao for now. Oh man, and I forgot about this one, and you see, mainly, oh shit, I'm dropping my apps. Sometimes, you see what I mean? Oh, and this one. And I forgot about, I can't do this. Wow, that was hard.